Can you all hear us? Let me know in the chat.
I think we are. So, this is the glass staircase. Welcome. We can get right into it.
Yeah, we are in fact live, so yeah.
All right.
Awesome, let's go.
All right, so 3, 2, 1, go. So this game starts off with a long loading screen and then like a minute-long credits cutscene. So I get to talk about the game a bit. Woo! This is the Glass Staircase. This is a puppet combo horror game that you can get either off itch or through their Patreon. It is marketed as a love letter to Italian zombie films and classic Resident Evil, Silent Hill, like survival horror style games, and it's really fun. There are a few jump scares. I'll try to warn before they come up. There's two main ones I'll try to warn about. One is right away within like the first minute. We kind of go through the days of these girls who have come to this mansion to work as maids, and as we go through each day, things start to happen to them that's not so great. They start dying. It is a doctor's mansion who has begun trying to find a vessel for God, but whoops, it's God, totally not Satan again, and bringing back the dead is a bad idea, so that's...
Totally not Satan, again!
Yeah, that's the plot, and that's the joke, and I'm not gonna stop. So this is the first girl. We gotta go do her chores. There's a PA system in this house, but none of the lights electrical work. It's baffling, whoever did the electricity for this house. But yeah, so the first section of this game is kind of going through some of the girls' days, and it's trying to build tension, and things happen to them. And then the second half kind of devolves into like Resident Evil, crazy, shoot 'em up style, like that kind of nonsense. So the first girl doesn't last very long, unfortunately. Oh yeah, there's also like weird speed tech. When you go through a door, most of the doors keep the angle you entered the door at. So if you, right before you go through the door, turn your angle a bit, you can like position yourself for where you'll be going into in the next room. Which is very small, helpful tech. And so we move the piano that is just playing, and it's not being played now, but there's a key. And the key's to outdoor, and as we go through the big main two doors, it goes black for a second, and then there's a jump scare. So the first jump scare is coming right up through these doors, so just a warning. It might be kind of loud. We have the door animation, and then... But yeah, okay. So that's our first jump scare, and the first girl who we have lost. So now it's day 2, and we're playing the next girl, and it's raining. And I really love the sound design for the rain in this game, because it's like... I don't know how to explain it, but it feels more wet than most rain sounds you would hear in a game.
It does sound like rain like on a roof. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it doesn't just sound like regular falling rain, there's like a weight to it, sort of, that makes it feel almost more real, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so we're the second girl now. Someone dropped off a package to us, which is rare, so they're like, go get your package, and they just send us out into the rain to get our package. There's what is either bloodstains or water stains in front of the door. It's not really sure. It's fine. I'm sure it's fine. We have to get out and run through the rain. Go find our package. I want to give shout-outs to Rathis, who did most of the routing for this game, most of the original routing for this game, before I came along. The only thing I've really contributed is a few different, like, faster but riskier boss fight strats. Rathis has really consistent ones. And then I found one slightly faster way through this maze, because you have to go through this maze, and it kind of sucks, because it'll look like you can go one way, and then you can't. It's actually a lie. And then on our way back, it changes, so different again. But yeah, so we have to go through this hedge maze to get our package because for whatever reason the gates are at the end of a maze. There's another set of gates, but whoever delivered the package decided to drop them off at this one because they're just rude. They could have just walked around the outside, saved us a ton of time instead of making us go through all of this. But, you know, at least the rain stopped, so that's something. So we're going to run through this maze, and there's going to be a jump scare in the maze. You get to a dead end that should be the way you're supposed to go, and then when you turn around and go back to the transition, there's the jump scare, so I'll try to warn for that. So, the maze has changed a bit, but we're kind of going back through the same way we came. Kind of. You start getting ominous music. The jump scare is next screen when I come back to this one I'm on right now. So, jump scare. And those are the two main jump scares, really, out of the way. There's sort of one in a boss fight when you shoot someone, but, yeah. So this is the longest night of chores we have to do now. So now we're playing Dorothy, and we have to light all the candles, because, again, there's no electricity for some reason. It's just, we've got, you know, a working PA system, but we still use candles to light the house.
Wait, what?
I know, it's... this guy is a scientist, too, like, doctor, and he's got it this way. So that's one of the few places I actually use strafing to just get to that spot. There is strafing in this game. It's kind of awkward. You run faster when you're running forward. You sort of run the same at strafing, but when you swap between strafing and running forward, it, like, slows down for a second, and then also... you can just turn really fast running because it's all tied to mouse. Which makes it really weird if you have to turn at the start of a room because you have to, like, be moving the mouse as you load into the room. Which is why it's really helpful that you can kind of swing yourself before you go into the room to change where you're going to be looking. So you don't have to be trying to make sure the mouse is moving in, like, the frame you enter the room. So you don't run into the wrong wall or something. They're like, look how fast you can turn when it's just mouse and you just flick the mouse quickly. It's pretty nice.
Alright, inquiring minds want to know, will there be more rain?
No, unfortunately that is the last of the rain. I thought you would have gotten all the rain you needed from downpour, but there's never enough downpour, let's be real. I'm trying to think if I know any more games in the schedule coming up with rain, but I unfortunately don't. I'm sitting here going like, does Visage have rain? I don't remember. I've watched Starwind run that game so many times that I can't remember if there's rain or not. But yeah, so we're just gonna finish off. There's like 3 more candles we have to light, and then there's kind of a jump scare, but not really. It doesn't have the shrieking noise, and it's kind of like you have a second to process before anything happens. It's much less of one and much nicer of a cutscene. Yeah, this game, I really like it as a horror speedrun. It's very basic in the beginning, and even most of the fights, there's not too many. But I really like it as like an intro speedrun for horror speedrunners. Anyone who wants to get into like the Resident Evil or Silent Hill, like 2D movement style, because I know some people have a lot of problems with like tank controls and stuff, and this has sort of pseudo tank controls, and it's short and there's not too much to it, so I think it's like a really good one for learning, or like to try it out to see if you like that style of game. Just if you do run this or want to play it, set a max power cap like in your power settings, because it will guzzle your CPU. If you let it, it will just like peak your CPU to 100%. I have to set a cap of 70%. I could probably get away with 80 or maybe even 90, but it's like, if I don't have it capped, all of my cores jumped over 100 degrees running this game. It is not good. So that's a warning to anyone who wants to play this game.
That's a good one.
Yeah. It seems to be fun, though, if you just set a cap, because it's just like, oh, we'll only go up to
True
this
horror of the game.
Yeah, destroying your PC. Fun. I ran this for like a month before I figured that out. I only realized it because the power cable in my PC, not like the main power cable, but the power cable for the pump for my liquid cooling system got loose somehow, so it wasn't working. So my computer started crashing from overheating.
Oh. I mean, you didn't figure it out because it like burned the hair off your leg or anything.
No, thankfully. I was just like, why is it overheating? I can't figure it out. And then I fixed the cable and I installed a HW monitor or whatever. And I was looking. I was like, let me test with a game that I know makes my fan go crazy. And I turned this on. I was like, oh, that's really bad. That's really, really bad. Alright, so we're into the final day. We get to play as Margaret now, and we get to go fight monsters and be awesome. And yeah, it's night. We take a lockpick. We're getting out of here. Someone left a gun for us. I forget who. It's either the wife of the doctor who's like sick of it all, like of the doctor and wants out. Wait. I went through the door and it had me look backwards instead of forward. That's new. Wait, no, I went through the door twice. What? Okay.
Would you say this has never happened before?
It has happened on another door before, but I thought it was specifically the other door because of how the other door is like laid out. Because it's like you can try going through another door as you're still loading from the previous door, like they're that close together, so I thought it was like triggering another door when it hadn't finished loading the first one, which made it play the animation again. I didn't realize it was just something that happens when you go through a door. Sometimes you'll go through it twice, I guess, so. Because this is the other door I've had her on. And I thought it was because the door after is so close that I had somehow triggered it while still in the door cutscene, because the other door's right here. But I guess it just happens. That's cool. At least
I feel like if you have a bingo card that just has all this has never happened before.
Can we make the game crash again? This game used to crash for me all the time. Like when I played it casually, it never worked. I had to do so much work to get this game working. Like I tried a bunch of versions. There's like a Unity player, or not Unity, there's like an OpenGUI version of the game and stuff, and for whatever reason I just kept going to the point it crashed, and one time I got past the crash and it never crashed again. Ooh, I didn't want to look at the shelf of hands. I'm sure it's handy to have around, but
wah, wah, wah. That was pretty good.
So yeah, we hide under a desk from the monster here. We have to turn on all these machines because it turns out there was power after all, just in the underground like secret laboratory in the crypt was where they hid all. That's why there's no lights upstairs. They're guzzling all the power for the secret room.
Just like this game.
Yeah,
it's like this game and your CPU.
Yeah, that's where my power from my CPU is going. It's to run this lab down here, bring back some dead spirits who are totally not demons and not Satan trying to get. It's 100% God and like angels and stuff, and there's like a whole cult around it who came to give him bodies, which at first they dug up bodies and then they were like, we need fresh bodies, and the cult bodies weren't enough, so they started inviting girls to work here and killing them so they would have more bodies. Here's some bodies. There's a lot of bodies. But yeah, so coming up kind of on our first fight, which has a bit of luck to it. So there's an auto aim in this game, and it's not the best auto aim, but the fastest strategy is to to hold aim and pray, because you cannot see where you're aiming on the screen you're on because it's locked, you know, camera angles. So you just have to hope it hits, and you just listen for the screams, and it's fast or it's slow. Yeah, so we're gonna go to the other side of this dungeon now. There's one more terminal we're gonna turn on. Also, I apologize, there's gonna be a machine we blow up later, and the noise it makes, it's angry tinnitus. That is the sound design for that thing exploding. So I'll bring it off when it happens if you want to just mute yourself, or like mute your headphones or whatever, because it's rather unpleasant.
Well, thank you for the warning.
Yeah, it's like 2 fights away, so not quite yet, but here's our last switch. It's also very bright. I think that's the one reason no one wants to run this game, is sitting through that explosion. Alright, so we're coming up to our first actual fight. If you saw me go over a little bump there, there's a fun fact in old versions of this game: if you hit any bump that raises your elevation, sometimes you just jump super high into the air. I don't believe it is worth anything, except you could crash the game from doing it, but sometimes it still happens, but not to the point where it crashes and it's fun. And hey, it's Dorothy! So there's either Dorothy has lost it, or she's been revived as a corpse. We can't get hit from her. Okay. Okay, we got 3 hits, we needed 4. The auto-aim did not give me the first hit. Okay, that wasn't the worst. It wasn't good. I have to find her body. Oh, her body was really far away. That's bad RNG. That's bad RNG. You want her to, like, run back to you. I cannot get this key. Thank you. Yeah, there's a key in her eye, so the doctor put it there, so it's kind of assumed that she's, like, a revived demon in the corpse. Also, I need to reload before I go through this door, because it is important for the next fight to have fully loaded gun. It takes 4 shots to hit her. Auto-aim did not hit for 2, so had to reload. Wait, which way am I going? I went the right way and then I turned around and went the other way. My muscle memory freaked out on me. I was right on that center of, like, where the screen transition went, and that really threw me off. I was like, wait, which screen am I transitioning to? I still have trouble with that with, like, the Silent Hill games I've run forever, where it's just, like, sometimes you just get disoriented, which is, again, why I think this is, like, a good short game to experience it for people who do have trouble with that. But yeah, so we have a boss fight coming up here, and it takes 10 shots. We have 5 shots in the gun, so I want to reload before the fight to make sure it's, like, you'll want a 1 cycle. You only want 1 reload, and hopefully this will go right. I have a quick kill strat for this fight, so hopefully it all works. Once again, we have to pray to auto-aim. So he comes straight down this path to you. So we just fire 5 times into him, and then we run away. Get to here, and we reload. We want to get where the screen here is. So we okay, nice. that we got the quick kill. That was good. So this is the thing that's going to explode and create tinnitus. So the reason I run around the right side instead of the left is even when he's not swinging, the left has a claw, and sometimes its hitbox just hits you and does a ton of damage, and then he, like, sticks you. I didn't get hit. I don't need the health kit. So we have to wait for this to explode, and the sound's going to get pretty bad. If you want to mute, just wait till it goes to a black screen, and then you're good. If you don't want to hear this. Okay, we're good. And this is kind of a long loading zone, but this is all loading the end of the game. So this is where it gets very like Resident Evil. And it's thankfully very silent for a bit to make up for that, because if they wanted that to sound like a very angry case of tinnitus, it was perfect sound design. They nailed it, but like, why would you want it to be that? So we gotta run through some catacombs. We gotta get out of here. It's a very, kind of a nonsense puzzle, which is why it's so fun. Gotta go collect a grenade to blow some stuff up. We sort of got a bump on that staircase. That staircase is one of the places you can still kind of pop up. And it doesn't go high enough to crash you anymore, but it's like enough that it's kind of fun. So we got our grenade. Also, I realize I am on pace to make up for being overestimate on Count Lucanor. Let's go! Can make up that 8 minutes.
Very nice.
Get us back on track. And now that I've said that, I'm gonna crash again. Let's make it 3 for 3. Let's go.
3 for 3.
Yeah. Give me the jackpot. Go for it. Oh my goodness. That was weird. I got like caught on one of the coffins. I am actually very low in health, so I have to like make sure I don't die here. I think I'm one hit from dead, which is... Oh, I am going to die here. Oh, I didn't die. I was 2 hits from dead. Thank goodness. Okay. Yeah, that was awkward. I ran too low and got caught on a coffin, which like pulled me to the center where all the enemies are, but it's okay. The grenade to the face doesn't kill us. It doesn't do any damage to us, unlike their swings, and there's a first aid kit here, so I'm full health again. So, whew, I was a little worried. We go back to like right after the machine explodes if I die there, which is kind of a waste of time. Oh man.
Nice save though, that was a nice save.
Bad enemy RNG right here though. I am getting caught on all of them. This next room is another scary room. That other one's usually fine if you just like stick to the side by like played it a bit too close to the center. This room though, if enemies surround you, you can get caught because there's flames everywhere and there's invisible walls in the flames. Because you used to be able to like walk through them and go to areas you shouldn't, and then soft lock, so they put invisible walls in the flames. And there's a lot of people in here. I think we're fine. We got through. It's that first corner is like the scary point. Dorothy's also somewhere in here, on fire, running around with a knife again. Alive again, but not alive. Yeah, that's pretty much the scary room. Past there should be fine. I don't want to jinx it now, but there's another health kit. And we're coming up pretty close to the end of the run. We just have like... Oh, I set myself on fire. Whoops. We just have one more fight with the big bad, and then we have to talk to a guy at a car outside, and that's time, so it'll be coming up very soon. Just have to take the emergency ladder. So it turns out there's just like hidden ladders and passageways from the house up and down, which explains the like hearing the piano and then it disappears. I'm gonna take this first aid kit. And now we get attacked by the monster again, who's gonna chase after us on fire. But there's certain spots in the chase early on where you can like get shots off, so hopefully I'll get them because it lets us like really quick kill this boss really fast, so I want at this. Ah, that didn't hit. Okay, that wasn't super good. I think only one of those hits counted. So this version has like iframes between hits, so I have to like kind of time them. We want to like lead him to the door we have to go through. Okay, that worked really good actually at the end. So that's the last fight we have to do, and now we just have to run to the end. That wasn't the best. I missed, I think, 2 or 3 shots, but we still killed him before we got to the door. It's only really slower if you get to the door and he's still alive, because then you have to kite away from the door and then kite back to the door, and if you get by the time you get to the door, it's just like optimal. So we're just gonna talk to someone, and as soon as I say yes, that's time. So we are right at the end of the game, and that's time. That is the glass staircase. And yeah, so we drive away. There's the spirits of them thanking us for ending the misery. That, or it's Satan possessing their bodies, taunting us because they got vessels in the end. One of the two. One of the two. I think it's supposed to be like a feel-good end, but yeah, Margaret's actually like a secret agent for the government who was there to like shut it all down. That's the plot. That's the twist. It's fun. But yeah, Puppet Combo makes some pretty cool, like, old school horror style games like these. Credits go forever because it has all of their Patreon backers on it. So some of the names are fun, but it just goes. So we really don't need to sit through them. There's no more cutscenes or anything at the end. It's just going to be names for a bit.
Well, so, are there any shout-outs you want to do?
I guess shout-outs to Starwin, who's running Visage tomorrow night, I believe. Definitely check out that run. It's super cool. Starwin's been practicing a lot. There's some really cool, like, glitches and stuff in it, so definitely check that out. Also, I'm thinking, Schmumbler's not running any more runs, right? They were all in earlier today?
You know, I'm not 100% sure on that.
I'm trying to think, is there anyone else from the Silent Hill crew doing runs? Anyone in the marathon who runs Silent Hill games, shoutouts to all of them, because I don't know if you've done your runs already or not. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's
doing like a quick like once over, and I'm not seeing any Silent Hill later. It all came earlier today. There was a lot of Silent Hill earlier today.
Okay, well, shoutouts to all of them. If you missed the runs, definitely check out the VODs, because they're a bunch of great runners and great Silent Hill games are some of my favorite speedruns, personally. I know it's not everyone's, but
well, I mean, if you love Silent Hill, it's a great marathon for it, since we are horrible games, so.
Yeah, which somehow we had 3 of, like, the main homecoming runners, and no one submitted, and it could fit into horrible, but maybe next time.
Well, hey, you can have a horror game, or a horrible game, or a horrible game. Any work, right?
Yeah, I mean, both is best, really.
I think we achieved that with the previous game, for sure.
Oh yeah, Netherworld is something special. I do not want to touch that game again, but
Netherworld is terrifying in so many ways. Well, thank you so much for this run of the Glass Staircase and your other 2 previous runs of Netherworld, Beyond Time, and the Count Lucanor. Thank you for all of those wonderful runs.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It was really fun. I have to sleep. It is almost 4 a.m. for me.
Please do, right. And if you are at home watching, don't go anywhere. Coming right up, Shark Hat is going to be bringing us Dead Space 2.
This one's like a